Welcome back to the all-night appetite, 11:16 SEN, Melbourne's home of sport. A little bit of a change of pace for your Friday morning. We're going to head out to the CBD of Melbourne, and we're going to catch up with a man who's, well, more familiarly known as the main man of the Collingwood cheer squad, and we see him each and every weekend cheering on his beloved Pies in the comforts of the MCG, Etihad Stadium, or any one of the grounds around this great country of ours. But just for this morning, he's doing it a little tougher than that, and he's doing it all in the aid of a very good cause. It's a warm welcome to Joffa Korf. G'day, Joff. How are you, bud?
Oh, g'day, mate. Thanks for having me. That's brilliant.
No problem at all, mate. And thank you very much for what you're embarking on. And we're going to find out more about it shortly and talk a little footy, of course. But
Absolutely.
What is going on this morning? I believe you're out and about in the CBD and you're helping to raise awareness for a very important cause that's close to your heart. Tell us more.
Yes, thank you. We're helping to raise awareness for the homeless, which is an issue in every major town in Australia and the world. But I don't think a lot of people understand what homelessness is all about. It's prevalent. As you go to the right places around the city by night time, you can see it. A lot of people, I think, tend to confuse homelessness with an old guy on a park bench in a park someplace. Well, there's much more to it than that. There's youth homelessness. There's 18 to 54 and beyond, and all these age brackets are very high numbers. So it's a concern. It's a blight on our society that we have this problem. There are a lot of other issues involved: mental health, family breakdowns, sexual abuse. It's a horrible thing. So we set about to roam the streets tonight in the CBD and speak to some homeless people and actually go to where they're sleeping during the night. And we'll be here till probably about 7 o'clock in the morning, and then we're off to Fitzroy to have breakfast with some homeless people. So we're putting it all on film. So I just hope that we can raise some awareness to let people know that this is a huge problem.
Now, Joff, I know you're not one to do things in half measures, so I gather you're going all out this morning. No comforts, blankets, etc. You'll be basically out there amongst it like many people are each and every night.
Mate, we've got no comforts whatsoever. We've got no blankets, and later on during the night, if we get a bit tired, we'll head up some laneway somewhere and try and find some cardboard and some rubbish for a pillow, and we'll put all this onto the film we're doing, because this is how people live rough in the streets of Melbourne. They have nothing. When it's time to sleep, to try and find at least somewhere safe to sleep without worrying about a blanket and a pillow. Already tonight we found, come across many people in front of shop windows under sleeping bags and old blankets to sleep. So even 11:30 at night in the centre of Melbourne, you can see it. You don't have to go searching for it. So it's everywhere. It's a big problem, and we've got to do something about it.
Absolutely. And Joffa, we're speaking to Collingwood's number one cheer squad member, Joffa Korf, who's this morning sleeping out in the CBD to help raise awareness for homeless people amongst our community. And I guess that's the thing, isn't it, Joff? People will be listening to this right now, and some will be a bit cynical and say, come on, get back to talking sport. This doesn't affect me. But the thing is, it can affect anyone at any time. We look at things like lack of housing that's around at the moment. The cost of living is going up by the day. So even those people, even families that are seemingly well set right now, things can change in a matter of a week or two or a month, and before you know it, you're in a similar situation to the one that you're facing right now.
Oh, thank you for saying that. Well said. Look, no matter how well we think we are going, we're only a job loss, a breakdown, a relationship breakdown, the death of somebody very close to us, and we could be very well be in this situation of being homeless. We could have a mental breakdown. We could have a nervous breakdown. We could become sick and lose our jobs, lose our houses, up to our neck in debt, and we're homeless. When we go to bed at night, we should consider ourselves very, very lucky that we have a bed to go to, because we're just a fine line away from being where these other people are, and they're just victim of circumstances. Everybody has a story. We shouldn't judge somebody by being homeless. We shouldn't judge the mentally ill. We shouldn't judge the people with disabilities. Once if we stop caring, we should just pack it up and give this whole thing away. And I think that's what we're doing tonight. There's respect in what we're doing tonight. There's the care factor, and there's the awareness factor, which I think is most important.
Absolutely. Joffa, I believe too you'll be catching up and speaking with a few of the heavy hitters in regards to the powers that be around Melbourne. Are you catching up with Major Brendan Nott, also outreach workers as well, including Stuart, I think is going to be featured on the video that you're putting together?
Yes, we've had a wonderful chat with the Major, and he's also the chaplain of the Collingwood Football Club. But he's a very respected figure in the streets of Melbourne with the homeless people, the vulnerable. He does a great job, and we're using his vision in the very first part of this film clip, and very powerful stuff. In the morning, we head down to Fitzroy, St Mary's House of Welcome, where we're going to have breakfast with the homeless, and we're going to talk to Stuart, who's an outreach worker, and for him to talk about homelessness as well. So we're, if we do this thing well, I think we're going to raise some pretty good awareness.
Yeah, absolutely. You're doing that right now, Joffa, and we congratulate you and thank you for your efforts. Just a final one. People that might be listening in now and saying, well, what can I do? It's a massive problem. I can't really make an impact. It's not necessarily, I suppose, about getting out there and roughing it up like you are, but even just having more understanding and realising that this could be someone close to you, and that we don't be so quick to judge these people and don't look at them as though they're any lower or lesser in society.
Oh, mate, thank you. Well said. Look, we've become so judgmental as people. There seems to be a stigma attached to everything now. The other charity I work for, epilepsy, there's a horrible stigma. Homeless people, there's a horrible stigma. People with mental health problems, there's a horrible stigma. These are people that are victims of circumstances. They are victims of society, and we've got to stand up and care more about these people, and just to try and understand what they're going through, where they've come from, where they're going to. I think it's a problem that we all should be concerned about, and we don't have to get out into the city and sleep it rough to try and figure this thing out. I think if we can be a little bit more understanding, a bit more caring, a bit more giving, I think we'll nail this thing.
Joffa, you're doing some amazing things, and look, I've had the pleasure of getting to know you over the past couple of years, being a fellow Pies fan, working a few gigs with you, and I know how much work you do behind the scenes. You cop a bit of stick from time to time, but I know you're a very generous man, so we do congratulate you on what you're doing at the moment, raising awareness. Just before I let you go, it would be remiss of me not to quickly talk a little footy. Obviously, a very disappointing exit for our Pies on the weekend. You're probably hanging out for round 1 2014, I imagine.
Yes, look, it was disappointing because, we had a season this year where we never got going. We started off the season with a lot of, big name players injured. We had poor form. Big name players came back without a full pre-season, and that showed on later on in the year. Look, we just had one of those years, and all clubs have them, and we've just got to get back to the drawing board, regroup, improve the list a little bit, and move on to next year with the same enthusiasm.
Joffa, I'm sure the answer to this question is probably who gives a fat rat's clacker, but who do you think wins the premiership from here?
Mate, I've got my money on Freo. I think Freo are a huge bet to win this year's flag. I think it'll be a Freo Hawthorn grand final, and Freo are tough. Gee, they hit hard. By goodness me, they hit.
They're a very good side and well drilled by Ross Lyon. Joffa, stay safe, stay warm, and keep doing what you are doing, and that is raising awareness for a cause that is very much central to what is important in our society, and that is looking after people that are less privileged than we might be. So, mate, congratulations on what you're doing. Thanks for having a chat to us on the All Night Appetite, and we look forward to seeing that video when it hits YouTube shortly.
Hey, congratulations to you for giving us the time. Thank you very much.
Not a problem at all. Joffa Korf there joining us as he is out and about in the streets of Melbourne in the CBD, raising awareness for homeless throughout our community. We'll be back with more shortly on the All Night Appetite.